Hi, thanks for your interest in my recent article, New Fathers' Perceptions of Dyadic Adjustment and the Rules of Maternal Gatekeeping and Coparenting Closeness. My name is Anna Wolszewski, and I'm a PhD candidate in the Human Development and Family Science program at Ohio State University. Along with my co-authors, Julia Yan, Sarah Shappy-Sullivan, and Claire Camp-Dush, our most recent paper explores the ways new fathers perceive gatekeeping behaviors from their female partners and how those perceptions are associated with changes in their perceptions of the couple relationship and the co-parenting relationship. But before I get ahead of myself, it may be necessary to define a few terms for you. First, maternal gatekeeping can be understood as behaviors most typically displayed by mothers that may encourage or discourage father involvement with the child. These can fall into two categories. So there's gate opening behaviors, which encourage father involvement, and gate closing behaviors, which discourage father involvement. So given that mothers are still largely seen as and socialized to be the primary caregivers in families in the U.S., this often creates a dynamic where the mother feels she has more knowledge or power in the parenting world, and the father feels he should turn to the mother instead of taking charge when it comes to parenting. So second is coparenting closeness, and this is the degree to which co-parents feel they are growing together due to their shared experiences of co-parenting. And third is dyadic adjustment, which is a measure of how the participant feels overall about the romantic relationship. So taken together, our team sought to understand new fathers' experiences over the transition to parenthood with special attention to gatekeeping and their romantic relationship. So we see this as a critical step forward for a few reasons. First, social norms and expectations about fathers and their involvement in the family are changing. So fathers are more involved than they've ever been in the parenting realm. And additionally, there are more expectations for dads to be involved. However, this is kind of a confusing juxtaposition where moms are still seen as those primary caregivers and kind of brought up in a way that they are believed to be the more expert parent. So we wanted to see kind of how dads' perceptions of being in that position affected their overall adjustment over the transition to parenthood. In particular, we selected their perceptions of the romantic relationship just because this has been shown in previous literature to be very important for father involvement and other variables related to adjustment over the transition to parenthood for fathers. So data from this study I should mention are from 182 dual earner, first-time, different sex mothers and fathers who were experiencing the transition to parenthood. We used data from 4 time points. The first was during the 3rd trimester of pregnancy, and then 3, 6, and 9 months postpartum. So our sample was primarily married. About 85% were married. The rest were cohabiting, as it was a qualification to be in the study. Primarily white, about 85%, and of middle to high socioeconomic status. So a relatively stable sample. So what we found was that when fathers reported higher levels of gate closing from the mother or behaviors that discouraged father involvement at 3 months postpartum, this was associated with relative decreases in dyadic adjustment from the 3rd trimester of pregnancy to 9 months postpartum, through relative decreases in co-parenting closeness from 3 months postpartum to 6 months postpartum. So basically what we found here is that when dads felt discouraged from father involvement at 3 months postpartum, this was associated with decreases in how close they felt with their female partners from 3 to 6 months postpartum, which was then associated with decreases from the 3rd trimester pregnancy to 9 months postpartum in their feelings about the romantic relationship. So this wasn't very surprising. Basically, in this realm, gate closing behaviors seem to be negative for father's adjustment over the transition to parenthood. And this is consistent with other work that explores gate closing behaviors. On the other hand, the opposite was true for gate opening behaviors. So when dads felt that at 3 months postpartum, their partners were really encouraging their involvement in the parenting realm, this was associated with relative increases in their feelings about the romantic relationship from the 3rd trimester to 9 months postpartum, through relative increases in their feelings of closeness in the co-parenting realm from 3 months postpartum to 6 months postpartum. So this was a really intriguing and exciting finding, we thought, just because there's been kind of some debate in the literature as to if gate opening is a good or a bad thing in the family system. So for some dads, they see it as perhaps a nagging, or if moms are asking them to be involved, perhaps they feel that the mother has ideas that they aren't involved enough. And in this more stable sample, we don't see this to be true. So dads seem to think that being asked to be involved in this realm, in this parenting realm, contributes to overall better outcomes as far as their feelings of adjustment in their romantic relationship and their feelings of closeness with their partner as a co-parent. So overall, I think this study highlights the importance of understanding fathers in context. There's probably some implications for practice as well, especially including fathers and mothers, and talking about the roles of gatekeeping behaviors over the transition to parenthood. I'd love to start a conversation with you if you're interested in this work. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you'd like to get in contact with me, my email is olshavsky.8@osu.edu. So my last name is spelled OLSAVSKY, @OSU.edu, and I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching the video on our paper.